Hi again, folks. It's time for another walk in the garden. This time we're going to take a look at the peace garden and the area surrounding it and see what's blooming in there, see what's happening. We've got a sticky day on our hands. We've been getting a lot of rain, so some things have gotten a little soggy, a little bit of fungus here and there, a little rotting, but things are looking pretty good. So let's take a look. It's late summer now, so things are kind of getting past their prime in some cases, but some things are just starting to bloom. So let's take a look and see what's happening in this part of the garden. So we access this part of the garden from the front yard through this little path. And on the side here we've got some ferns. I believe that's Goldie's wood fern. And this native plant here is the bellwort. Blooms early in the spring. Got some nicotianas that seeded themselves along the way here. This large evergreen is a chamaecyparis. We've got two of these in the garden. This one's not quite as big as the other, but it's catching up. So we'll keep going along the path here. This phlox here is one that seeded itself. It's got kind of a nice light lilac color. Kind of like it. Kind of blousy. And behind the phlox here is a 7 sunflower. This is one that we had to cut down a number of years ago. It actually got blown over in a storm. It was kind of rotted in the base, but it kept coming back, so we left one of the suckers to come back, and so we're getting the tree back again. Got a little heuchera in there. There's some acidanthera back there, kind of flipping all over the place in different directions. And so adjacent to the peace garden is the pergola. It's covered in grapevines. There's 2 grapevines there. They are both called K Gray, both the same. I've done videos on the pergola in the past, on the construction of it. So it was kind of an interesting project if you want to take a look at that video. The grapes are fairly ripe right now. There's quite a few up there. So we actually did thin the grapes quite a bit, otherwise we would have way too many. It does have seeds, so they are tasty to eat, but a little bit of a chore. We mostly just leave them for the critters. Got a begonia basket there. So there's the base of one of the grapevines. They've been in here for quite a while. Since 2008. 17 years. Got some tillandsias hanging off. And behind there we've got a big old Tithonia plant. That's an annual that I started from seed. Monarchs really like them, as well as the bees. That one is probably 7-8 feet tall now. They get quite large and require quite a bit of staking. But it's such a beautiful flower. Here's another view of that big old tithonia. Really massive. I always plant these every year, have to have at least a couple. And we've got a few of the little dwarf cannas down here as well. This is an area where there used to be a pine tree that we cut down. It was dying out because of sapsucker damage. There's the stump from it. So the soil here seems to be pretty nice. Everything thrives back here. And this is thriving as well. This is a musclewood called the fire spire. Put this in late last year, and it's been doing just great. It's a slow grower, be a nice screening plant, stays very narrow, great fall color. So cultivar or nativar selection of a native tree. Hiding back behind the musclewood is a shrub called a spice bush, I believe. The rabbits tend to chew it down every winter, but it comes back, gets kind of mahogany, burgundy red flowers in the spring. Early summer, it's very nice. And behind the pergola, we've got several of these large arborvitaes. These are the wintergreen variety. They get very tall. They're really good for screening. And there's another one on this side. Can't even see the top of them, they're so tall. Got a few different kind of goldenrods here. This one is a blue stemmed goldenrod. It's one that can take some shade, and it's nice to have a variety of goldenrods and different native plants in general. The more variety, the better. And these are loving the tithonia. So, stepping back into the pergola. We've got a hammock in here to enjoy. These columns are sculpted out of concrete. Got lots of little critters sculpted onto them. So we really enjoy having the pergola here as a place to come on a hot day and really cool off. It always stays much cooler underneath here. And another look at the pergola. More of the tillandsias over there. The other grapevine is there. And we did put a water feature in the center. Deeper than it looks. It's kind of deeper than the surrounding ground. And I cast that concrete leaf there from a big old rhubarb leaf. So we'll take one more look around the pergola. There's arborvitaes in the background and the fence. Some more tillandsias there and a little orchid. And right outside of the pergola is the peace garden. Peace garden is, of course, in the shape of a peace symbol. And my goal was just to have a low tapestry of different kinds of ground covers and flowers inside of the peace symbol. So it's starting to fill in and give me that effect. So I've used a mixture of some perennials and annuals in these beds. This one here is creeping phlox. I've got a lot of sedums in here too. They weren't liking the rain we've been getting lately. This one's looking a little better. And I've got some annuals like alyssum and some verbenas and petunias. Also in here is prairie smoke. This is a native low-growing plant. It's very nice to have in the spring when it's blooming very early for the bees, and keeps a nice look to it all year long. There's some of that verbena. I take cuttings from that at the end of the season so I can keep it from year to year. Some of the petunia, lavender tie-dye that I start from seed. A lot of these plants in here are past their prime right now. Had to do some cutting back on them. The rain has kind of gotten to them a bit. But still the overall effect is pretty nice, I think. A lot of crickets in here. So outside of the peace garden bed, we've got another little sculpture here. Another one of my kitty sculptures. This one I made in remembrance of my last cat, Chuck. A big mellow cat that used to like to hang around the garden, and birds would always be chirping at him. Got some mums there. Some more phlox behind there. White phlox, David. And the large shrub behind there is a hydrangea tardiva. It's been in a long time and it's quite massive. And next to the hydrangea, we have a honeysuckle on the fence. That's the one called Mandarin. Got some hostas back there. There's another St. John's wort shrub that was just moved in here this spring. Various columbines in here. This shrub is a chokeberry called Professor Ed. We put 3 of these into this area this spring, just freshly planted. Got some hostas blooming behind there. See a black and gold bee on there. And we've got a few daylilies in here. These daylilies are the happy returns, so they're happily returning. And edging out here, we've got some berginias. A few petunias there that are volunteers. Nice little heucheras back there. This is a penstemon that bloomed earlier in the season, the hairy penstemon, a native plant. And this tree back here is a serviceberry, Autumn Brilliance. It's been in there a number of years and has been declining and leaning. So we'll be taking that one out pretty soon. It's already showing some fall color on it. It's very stressed out and just on its way out. So we're looking for a replacement to put in that spot. And next to the serviceberry, we've got some 9 barks. These are Diablos. There's 3 of them back there. Form a nice screen. And you get that burgundy purple color in there. Some more acidanthera there. Some more of the happy returns. And in the background, some more acidanthera and coneflowers. This plant here is the native plant known as great blue lobelia. Very popular with the bees. It's a very nice one to have around. It likes to seed around and does really well for me. So we've got some more Virginia lining the edge of the peace garden bed here. And some Tiarellas. Some little snapdragons that will hopefully be giving us some more color when the cooler weather comes. So behind the peace garden here, we've got a couple of vegetable beds, 4x8 raised beds. It's getting a little shaded out back here, so I don't use them quite as much as I used to. That's a bean, a pole bean. Still waiting for some beans on that. Some kale in there. And hiding behind there, we've got some carrots. And behind the raised beds is this tall arborvitae, is a threadleaf arborvitae. It's gotten really large. This is really good conditions for that sort of tree. It's very moist, rich soil. There's a crabapple kind of shading it out, which is not optimal. Keep trying to trim it off the top of this arborvitae, but I think it's a losing battle. So we've got a little bed here next to the raised beds. We've got some more begonias in there and some more acidanthera. Great big hosta patch is one called Francis Williams. That's an old variety, which I really like. I think we got to divide that one next year. Probably should have done it this year. And we've got little paths going through here. This fern is called interrupted fern, a native fern. Very happy back here. And there's a thalictrum, big giant thing blooming there. Well, this crabapple's been in here a while. It's a variety called Licet. It's not a real disease-resistant variety, but I like it for the color of the flowers. And this is another one of the grapevine spheres that I like to make from the grapevine on the pergola. So it's getting to be a bit of a jungle back here as everything is filling in. Path is kind of disappearing, but it's still there. Another hosta here called Twilight. Right there, that's a big old jack-in-the-pulpit with that seed head. The jack-in-the-pulpits are spreading everywhere throughout the garden, almost getting to be too much. Some calamagrostis grass there. Some more David flax. This is a native plant called early figwort. Has a lot of nectar for the bees. They like that one. A little bit of impatience down there. This big old hosta is one called Niagara Falls. Just plain green, but it's got the ruffly edges. Very large in size. We have a lot of the wild strawberry back here as a ground cover. It has been spreading happily. And this big giant grass back here is a miscanthus called Little Dot. It hasn't sent up its flower plumes yet, but they are quite dramatic. So it's gotten pretty tight back here, difficult to even walk through anymore. It's quite the jungle. We've got a couple of spruce trees back here. The one in the back is a Serbian spruce, the more bluish color. And this one right next to me here is Oriental spruce. Both very attractive spruce trees and providing good screening back here from the busy road behind me. Also in this area is some of the epimedium. Makes a nice ground cover. Some Jacob's ladder there that is kind of flattened out. Blooms nice and pretty in the spring or early summer. This shrub here is a buttonbush. Selection of a native shrub. We keep some of our leaf bins back behind the building here. And this is the snakeroot, just sending up its flower spikes. Very tall, and have a grape scent to them. And here's that area from a different angle. The spruce trees in the back, David phlox, the big Niagara Falls hosta, and this very big thalictrum. And behind this area is another row of arborvitae, the emerald green, that have been in here for quite some time, which makes a nice screen as well. So coming back along the other side of the threadleaf arborvitae, path continues, grows this nice little moss in there. Off to the side we've got coneflowers. There's a delphinium behind there that's called pagan purple. And this is a baptisia here. And there's that Serbian spruce in the background. It's a little jungly back here. We've got some ironweed. It's kind of laying down on top of this beautiful hosta. Beautiful white flowers. Not sure which one this is. It was given to me by a friend. So popping out again to the peace garden. On this side we've got a number of native plants in this area. This tall one is vervain. Got some more of the great blue lobelia loaded up with the bees. And some Joe Pye weed here. That's been spreading around. This one was originally labeled as Baby Joe, I think. So it's not super tall. So these plants are in a sunken area. It's a rain garden. It collects the water when we get a heavy rain and directs it, keeps it from running off. It's sunken down about a foot. It's kind of hard to tell with all the plants in there. So we've got a rain barrel behind the little section of fence here, and the overflow goes directly into the rain garden there. The rain also drains off the patio into that area. So here's a view of the rain garden from the other side. In the front there's some New England aster, some more of the great blue lobelia, Liatris. It's Liatris pycnostechia. Some dahlias here. I believe they're Cafe au lait royale. So just a big collection of some natives in there to provide a lot of nectar and pollen for the pollinators. Stepping back just a bit, this area is ringed or edged with the Virginia all along here. This is my neighbor Rick. He came over to let some monarchs go. He keeps them, he raises them in these jars. And
62.
He's up to 62. Wow.
Yeah,
so this one is...
You can see, if you want to tell them about the male and the female.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll let it open its wings, but if you look when it opens its wings, males at the very back of right there has an oval on one of the veins, and that's a male, but these
That's a
these
female.
all are females.
Oh, yeah.
There.
So they're just newly hatched.
Yes. Now they're on their own. There you go. There you go. Good.
So beautiful.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, my gimbal died, so I'm going to try this without it. Here are those lovely monarchs that just got released. Kind of acclimating themselves. So just finishing up our tour here. This is a piece of artwork that I created from concrete. I call it the Garden Throne. I did a video on this one as well if you'd like to look it up. It's kind of fun and whimsical. Got some Canatangelo there. Looking pretty happy. Some lilies in the back that bloomed earlier. Calamagrostis. Some more dahlia there. A couple of daylilies lining the path here are the Hyperion. And in front of those we've got some sedum, which are just getting ready to open up. And we've got this lovely redbud here, which has just been growing like crazy since it was planted. It's getting to be a huge tree. Looking very nice. And underneath the redbud here is some aromatic aster with the fine textured leaves there. We'll be opening up fairly shortly. In fact, here's some on the other side. It's just starting to open up. I see a few little blue flowers in there. And some more sedum along the back here. And a nice carpet of the creeping thyme here. This is mostly the woolly thyme, I believe. This makes a nice blanket. So here's an overview of the path leading to the pergola. So that'll do it for this part of the garden. I hope you enjoyed this tour. Got a lot of interesting plants here. A couple here I didn't mention too is the Liatris spicata and the purple dome aster. Got a lot of asters yet to come. So the garden season is not done yet. We're still enjoying it. The bees are still enjoying it. And I hope you're still enjoying your garden. And I hope you plant some native plants in your garden too. Bye for now.